we are going to do. So, today, our morning blessing, the title is really, there is completion comes in the cause. So when you are taking that pause, that is when completion comes in your life. And when completion comes in, success follows. So I know you're going to say, Tessa-Marie, you and this way you talk and do things, I get that every day. It's just mind-boggling. But it's simple, ordinary English with an accent. So the opening greeting to you is good morning. And welcome to today's morning's blessing. Let's begin with a deep breath. Did you take it this morning? I just took you back to your bedroom. And when you got up, did you take that deep breath? Inhale for 4, hold for 8, and blow it through the straw for the count of 10. So, did you do that this morning or did you forget? Because it is okay though, if you forgot to do that this morning, I'll tell you why. Because that is not something that, thank you, that is not something that we were supposed to be doing every day. We weren't taught that as a child. So therefore, it's a practice to inhabit and to do it. And there are days you're going to forget to do it. So that's why I remind you when you come to the morning blessings. You can do it if you're alone. And if you're driving, please don't do it. So inhale for 4, hold for 8, and release as if you're blowing through a straw for the count of 10. It grounds you. It centers you because just you're thinking, you're feeling, you're in the moment, you're in the now, you're in the present, the gift of the moment of now. And you're bringing it in and you're holding it for dear life. And you must stay on it. It helps you to center, to be aware of the moment, for it's in the moment that miracles happens in our life. It's in the moment that clarity comes calling. It's in the moment inspiration comes as you're blowing through those pursed lips as if you have a straw in your mouth. So, and when you have done this, allow yourself a moment to be present. How does it feel? To be here, not just being, just not doing stuff, but being. In that moment, you're being. So, one of the things we know for sure is to allow today's message to resonate with you in some way. At the end of yesterday's message, that week of connection to your dream, I asked you to please be in the moment. So allow yourself a time to be present, to be here, not doing, just being. And that's why it is powerful to get a message like this. Because today's message is a powerful one. And one that calls us to remember who we truly are. We are not human doings. We are human beings. So let that sink in for a moment. We are not meant to be human doings. Our common name, our collective name is human beings. So let that sit with you. If you are a human being, why are you forced, controlled from the time you're a child? You must be doing. It's in doing that success comes. I'm here to tell you that's rubbish. Utter rubbish. It's not in doing that success comes. It's in the moment of being that success comes, that you get the answer to your dream, goals, and desire. That name, we forgot that we are human beings. Somewhere along the way, we lost our original identity. The name given to us by design, human being. But in the fast-paced, ever-demanding world, and the world we inhabit today, we shifted and we became human doings. And as we focus on doing more than and producing more, multitasking more, we started to equate busyness with success. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. You do have to have things that must be done. But today I ask you to think about this. When was the last time you simply paused, took a breath, and felt the miracle of being alive passing through you? When was that? But I must ask you that. I ask you today, now in this moment, when was the last time you simply paused, just stopped, took a deep breath, and felt the miracle of life and of being alive? When last did you do that? So it's not in constantly doing that gives us success. It's the pause after doing that brings us the success we crave. That's why it is called completion in the pause. When you pause in the completion, that's when you feel satisfied. You breathe deeply, I did it. We are not machines designed to operate 24 hours a day. We are souls wrapped in skin, created to experience, connect, reflect, and grow. Us is not the outside. Our true self is covered with this skin of different colors and different shapes and different sizes. But we were created to experience, connect with others, reflect, and grow from within, not from outside in. We equate completion and success by what we have gathered, what possessions we hold, how many degrees we have, how many this we have, how much money we have. But the true us, the connection us, the human being of emotion and physical and mental and spiritual, we take it, we set it aside, and in the world of doing, we cover it with financial. And when the winds of time blows or shifts financial, we are distracted, we are angry, we're losing connection, we are losing success because financial is being blown away by the winds of time. And the winds of time do not ever stop blowing. The idea of living a fulfilled life differs from many people. It has to. My idea of a fulfilled life is to come to the point of my life today. That was always my idea. To throw caution to the wind, to contemplate and to think, to muse and to inflect, to wander through trees and forests and gardens and see the tiny things of life. See two squirrels fighting over a nut and take that and turn it to a story. That was my entire idea, to be able to be brought to that point when I speak, my emotion is balanced. When I engage, my emotion is balanced. I take mental chances to do things that will stimulate it. But through all of that, there is one common, constant thing that I do. I have learned to pause. I have learned to let my just action that was done to stop and to pause. And if you practice pausing, you will notice you're never hurried, angry, frustrated, stressed. You will not experience that. But there came a time they brought something into our lives. I remember working at the bank, and we were promoted, revered, and just honored because you were a multitasker. The myth of multitasking, that's a myth. At some time in life, I don't know what point it was, somebody somewhere introduced a term that sounded innovative. Multitasking. Oh boy, we brought that and we bought it into the lie that doing more at once makes us more productive. We were measured. They checked on us because we had to be multitasking. And we looked like a bunch of crazy bees that went back to the nest and the queen bee was dead. We were walking into each other. We were crossing into each other's lane. We couldn't wait. We were agitated. It was a race, a constant race. Some people did not take a lunch break. They never took that 15-minute break that sometimes unions had to fight for to get, because they needed to improve and impress the bosses and get a little pat on the shoulder and a cookie in the mouth like a dog and go, you good multitasker. Until when it came to be checked, and the multitasking files had more errors than errors you couldn't even think. And I had to do it, multitasking. I really had a headache. I didn't take a break. When you pull them in, why did you do this? It's all incorrect. What was going on? I hadn't taken a break. I came early and I forgot to have breakfast, and I've been working all day with a headache. And where is that going to take you? I would just say, let's go. We had a Tuesday afternoon staff meeting in the financial group, and Colin can tell you, I said, let us cross the street. All of us left the branch and went and sat on the grass in a park and did our meetings there. We had to go because multitasking was driving these people crazy. But what has multitasking truly given us? Rush jobs, half-finished conversation, unprocessed emotions, stress, burnout, and fatigue. Truth be told, multitasking is the art of doing many things poorly at the same time. That's what it is. But oh boy, did they ever tell us that we should do this? Did they ever say we must? We have to. For you to progress, you have to, so you could get the cookie from the one that comes gliding into the branch just to see and say, I'm the VP. How are my slaves doing? The truth be told, it is terrible. The completion, the real kind, the fulfilling kind, comes in single task focus. And more than that, it comes in the pause between the task. It comes in the pause between the tasks. That is why they created lunch and these breaks, morning break, a 10 a.m. break, and or 11 a.m. break, or 3 p.m. break. But nobody takes it. I cannot. I have to do good. And then they crash. And we all worked in environments when the time comes for the heavy-duty multitaskers to retire. You get the news on Tuesday morning, they died of a heart attack on Sunday night. Because they had nowhere to go. The multitasking had drained them to the point if they didn't have it, they couldn't sustain breath and life itself. No other pillar was working except the one to gain praise, financial praise and success. I am not saying finances and lots of money is not great to have. It does. It allows us to have experiences we wouldn't normally have if we didn't have it. But like everything in life, it needs to be balanced with a break. I remember talking to my sister and Yuko, and we were talking, and we talked about this pause, these breaks. And somebody will say, I'm a housewife, I'm cleaning. Well, after you do the bathrooms, sit down, wash your hand, and sit down. And look at the shiny new bathroom and realize you just did that. And give yourself that. You did it. I am not telling you that you're going to be able to do it every day. I'm not telling you you'll be 80 and can do the washroom like you did it at 30. No way, Jose. But that is not what matters. What matters is, no, you succeeded at this task. You're heading towards another. Pause. Fill your tank with some fluid like water. Put down the devices. Now is not the time to check to see what Jane or Betty or Angela or Nancy or somebody else is doing. Now is not that time. Now is the time to wait. Pause for a few minutes and get completion. I do 10. I drink water. I have a full glass of water after the live, sometimes more than this. And I sit there and I drink that. Nothing is happening. Stillness and silence. My sister, when she was at home, told me she started incorporating it in her daily things she did. Not a job. She's retired, so she's just planting flowers, doing stuff on the estate. And we have a nephew that came to help her. And she pulled him up and she said, Ryan, have a seat. Here's a bottle of water and relax. I think he did it once, twice, and he said, Auntie Dawn, that's really good because when you go back to work, you get energy and you can do it. He noticed it. And she said he will just come up and say, time for my 10-minute break. I finished planting a field of lettuce or whatever. Then Yuko had that aha moment. Yuko works from home, hairdressing, and she would just go from one client to the other. And I said to her, Yuko, why don't you stagger your appointments so you have a break in between? It does not have to be 10 minutes, but 5 minutes is good. The thing is, as you guys know, sometimes the thought and a small action is sufficient. It doesn't have to be a lot. I believe in the slight edge, just doing a little bit at a time every day. So a little bit throughout the day. We have those amazing 16 hours that we have 8 we sleep, and we have the other 16 that we can pause in those minutes and take a little break. And she started doing it. And she said before that, she used to pass out on the couch at 6 o'clock. Since she started taking the pause, she's not as exhausted. But it's not long. My sister takes 10, Yuko takes 5. And just even if it's after you clean the kitchen floor, I don't know, you're at work, you finish one job, disappear for a moment. Go somewhere where they wouldn't come and tell you next. Just a 3-minute break. And that's where success comes in. And more than that, it comes in the pauses between the tasks. That's when you see success. Completion, the real kind, the fulfilling kind, comes in single task focus. So let me introduce you to something absolutely powerful. Take that throughout the day, taking 10 minutes breaks throughout your day. Guess what? It's going to be challenging. You're going to be agitated. You're going to be fidgety. You won't be able to do it. Nancy will get up and go, I'm going to see what the carrots are doing. Stacy will say, I think I need to clean the kitchen table. Colin will say, I have to drive somebody in 10 hours, but I'm all ready for them now. That 10 minutes is going to be difficult, or that 5 minutes, or the 3 minutes is going to be difficult to embrace. It's going to be challenging to do. It's going to throw you off track. It is, And that is what we have to understand. But just that 3, 5, or 10 minutes, not to scroll, not to plan, and not to analyze. You do not analyze. You do nothing. And you're sitting there. When I started doing it years ago, I was like this. I couldn't get myself still because I'm accustomed of going like the Energizer Bunny. But with practice and consistent putting the timer on for 10 minutes and waiting, okay, eventually it became a habit. I can sit still, relax, take a few deep breaths, sip the water, look around the room, sit in the pergola, look at the garden, and feel great about it. So it's not to scroll on your devices. They should be left away. Not to plan your next fight with somebody. Not to analyze anything or anyone, but to step outside. Just step outside. Outside of where you are, if you're indoors. To close your eyes. To breathe purposely. To stretch. To inflect. These 10-minute breaks recalibrate your nervous system. They do, They ground you in the moment. They bring alignment to your soul and to your schedule. My soul and my schedule? Yeah. Once your soul is aligned, your schedule has to be aligned. It will get aligned. Because you see, when the human being is put together, the world is okay. When we, the human being, are human beings, and instead of doing, we are being in the moment, that's when the world becomes okay. So when the human being is together, put together, the world becomes okay. So, and guess what begins to shift when you pause intentionally? Your emotional prosperity strengthens. You become calmer and more in tune with yourself. A phone might ring, a DM might come, but you can look at it like you're constantly in the meditation state. When a thought comes, you look at it and you continue doing what you're doing. Stillness. Your mental prosperity clarifies. You make better decisions and situations are more clearly seen. When you go back from the old task which you have left and you succeeded and you pause and you head towards the new task, when you get there, your mind is clearer. It clarifies. You can look at it and you can say, so this is what I have to do. Your thinking, your being, your feeling, your action becomes calm. You're more aware because you had a pause before you jump right from the frying pan into the fire. Your physical prosperity becomes better, right? It flourishes because your body gets a break from constant stress. I always remembered the older gentleman bank manager said to me, you know what, Tessa-Marie? When the phone rings and you look and you see it's coming from TD Bank, he said, let it go to message. He said, because they have to leave a message. But if you jump and grab it, you are not aware of what that discussion is going to be about. You're not prepared. So why don't you let it go to message, pick up the message, listen to it, plan your execution, and call them back. Sense. You see, there was a pause, you see, a magical pause. So choose not to answer every crazy DM and every phone call or every email instantly. Let them simmer on the pot like a good spaghetti sauce. Let them simmer. Let them age for a few seconds. They won't die. Somebody once said to me, well, it's suppose somebody's dying. I said, well, they're dead. I can't fix it, can I? So why don't we just wait and calmly get the news? But, you know me, I always have to say something awful. Because your body gets a break from constant stress, you feel better. And from the aligned state, something beautiful happens. Those three, your spiritual prosperity blossoms. You reconnect with the divine, with the universe, the God, the tree, the moon, the sun, and the stars, because you are in the moment. And when you're in the moment, you don't read anything. You read your mind. You read your body. How is that body feeling? Now that you have rested, what is your breath like? That's what happens. And your financial prosperity grows, because clarity and energy lead to better outcomes and better stewardship of the money that you earn from working. If you're not emotionally aligned, you will do impulsive shopping, point and click. If you're not aligned, your mental prosperity will be telling you horrible things and you will think horribly, you'll behave horribly, your mind will go. You will not connect, you will not remember your possessions, what you need to do. Things that you have studied for 4 years, all of a sudden you cannot recall it and apply it appropriately at the correct time. What's going on here? Physical prosperity. You're sitting still, your body is not moving, it's achy. You get up and your knees are going groom and ground. Your shoulders are bending. Your waist is saying, not today. Because you haven't given them love and care and accept them and pause. You keep going like the Energizer Bunny. You notice it hits a wall, right? So all of the big pillars need that. So invite completion into your life every day. You might, if you did it once for today, that's success because you didn't do it yesterday. You didn't know about it yesterday, right? So you did it once for today, and that is what happens. So here is your gentle challenge for today. Even for just 1 minute. Before beginning a new task, pause for a minute. You'll find out how long a minute is. Remember those 1 minute speeches at school, how long it took? Well, just think of it that way. And put your hands and fold it on your lap. Do not cross your legs. Let your feet be firm and flat on the floor. Throw your shoulders back. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Your timer has been set for that minute. Enjoy for just a minute. After finishing a task, pause. Celebrate the completion of that task by breathing in gratitude. Let the work settle in your soul and watch success come crawling into you. In those moments of stillness, you're doing nothing. You are just being. And that, my dear, is where true success is. Not in doing, it's in being. You are a human being. We are human beings. And that is where we will find our success. You were not created to run endlessly on a treadmill of doing. You were created to be and to find completion in the pause of being. You cannot pause and doing at the same time. So completion is in the pause. My grandson graduated from university. That's completion. What did you do? Did you sit back and pause and think? Job well done. There you are. I'm a human being. So let's affirm those together. I am a human being, not a human doing. I honor the pause as a sacred part of my journey. Pause. That's why they have vacation. In my stillness, I find my strength. Each breath I take brings me into alignment with my true purpose. Yeah, think about it. I give myself permission to pause to be and not to complete all the time in doing. To just pause to be and to complete in grace by taking the little pause in completion. So, here's a little practice you can do right now. Close your eyes in a moment. Visualize yourself standing in the middle of your day today. You finish whatever you have on that to-do list. Are you going to just sit on the grass, Nancy? I am. And realize I watered the plants today. And are you going to sit, Colin, and say, I'm just going to sit here? And pause. You finished a task. Instead of rushing to the next thing, you breathe deeply. You sip on a glass of water. You step outside or place your hand on your heart. You smile, knowing that the pause is not in wasted time. It is sacred time. So when you pause, a human doing will say, what are you doing? Why are you sitting here? You're wasting time. No. I am connecting with time. I am in time with time. This is the time to pause and enjoy time. You align, you complete, you are whole. So give yourself the gift of 10 times 10 practice today. 10 minutes to breathe, 10 minutes to reconnect, 10 minutes to be, or 5 minutes, or 3 minutes, or even 1. So today I am telling you, it's a blessing to your day. If you can do this with stillness, for the presence, be in the moment, and true prosperity in every pillar of your life comes to pause, just the pause. Even if you sit on the edge of a chair, you pause, and gradually we're doing it. Oh, it's 11 o'clock, time for my 5-minute break. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Your body is going to thank you for that. Go forth now. Do not rush in today. But in your rhythm, go forth in the rhythm of the day, and you remember it is in the pause that completion is born. And when completion is born, completion brings success along with it. Have a beautiful and beloved day for all of you, amazing human beings. So, pause. Take a pause, because without the pause,